more detailed instruction on how to make that changeover. But today, there's a couple things that you can practice, and you don't really need to be out on the court to do it at first. And basically just practice the hand motions that are in this critical phase of release. So if you start at just about the time that you're going to release the racket, they call this the dynamic slot. And again, you want this elbow kind of tucked in, rolled in. Even if you have a split hands grip, you can start to adopt a bit of this whipping principle where the elbow is rotated in so that the butt of the racket is pointed out more towards the side. This will delay the swing around of the racket. And so you can start from here just with your hand and practice what are the motions that are going to be required. Well, we know that there's going to be a rise, right? If we get topspin, we need our hand to rise and the racket to rise. We need the racket to square at contact right in front of the lead foot, right? So we know those two motions. But the third motion that we typically miss is this closing off the top part of the racket, the more vertical 8 to 12%. And so it's a blended motion. It's a little certainly more complex than this kind of idea, this swinging gate idea, but that's just the reality. It's just a little bit more complex, but it's not that complex. You can practice these things and you can quickly start to incorporate them in your game. So first thing to do is just in your living room and start to work out these positions, hand position, and how we're going to try to get the same kind of shaft lean that we get in golf. In other words, the racket's going to be behind us when we make contact slightly. And we're going to be in the midst of our rotation that includes both a horizontal squaring rotation and a tipping of the forward part of the racket to close it off motion. So the hand motion is going through something like this. And then you start to just get a little bit faster with your hand and with your racket and start to build this into your muscle memory, as they say. So rather than sort of always building this and hitting thousands of balls, in this linear manner, let's start to work on the foundational pieces of this rotational model and this whip model. And that certainly is this blended. And you look at my hand, it does not overly complex, right? And I'm releasing it in a continuous manner. I don't go here and then turn the doorknob or, grab some doorknob and go in or anything like that. It's a whole body motion. And so as you get this motion with your hand, then you want to incorporate, the hips and the shoulders and this pulling arm, because this motion goes all the way up. It's being pulled around by this lifting left shoulder and chest muscles. So now, this motion becomes, a complete motion that you're practicing, an accurate model. Now you can't go out and try this in your USTA match today or tomorrow. You need to work through this sequence slowly. You have to take some practice time where you're hitting balls without observation by anyone, without any pressure, and build the confidence in this new swing path and technique. And it does take a little bit longer, obviously, than just going out and racing out with a quick tip. But that's the way we learn. And it doesn't take that long once you have the correct paradigm and model, which is what I've been stressing all along throughout this series. So go ahead and start to do some hand kata practice, as they say in martial arts. Add the racket into that, then add a full body motion. You can do 100 swings like that, just feeling the racket and where it's going to be at contact. And you can take a look at the pictures in the video and sort of imitate what they're doing there. That's a good way to start. Later on, we'll build the inner principles of how this feels inside the body. But for right now, we're just mimicking and copying the form. Later, we'll get to the more subtle aspects. Okay, good luck.